I can tell you, I personally know about this school. It's called Royal Academy School. And I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Tarim last year at one of our Bridging the Gap meetings at the Presa Community Center. Awesome individual, very humble, really has a heart for the kids, for education. I quickly saw that. He invited us to be part of their grand opening, which happened last summer, I think, as well. And so I went by and I saw the school. It's a 100-year-old school, but you would never know that because I don't know if they remodeled it or if they have just kept it up that way. But it's an awesome school. Everything was just on point. You could see the rooms, you could see the halls. I'm going to be honest, the teachers there are so awesome. You can tell that they really have a heart for kids. The staff was great. Actually, he invited us to have our meeting, one of our Bridging the Gap meetings there, and we had our Bridging the Gap meeting at the beginning of the year. And so, and he's extended the invitation again to be able to have our meeting there, and we would definitely love to do that as well. And so I want to welcome to our program today Araceli Nava. She is the Recruitment Outreach Coordinator for Royal Public Schools, which is located at 4018 South Presa Street here in San Antonio, 78223. Araceli, welcome. I know you brought a guest with me. I don't have her information, but you can introduce her. But thank you for coming and being part of our radio program here today.
Thank you very much for having me. I was extremely fortunate to have met you at the Bridging the Gap meeting.
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
Which was extremely beneficial. I highly recommend to everybody out there, if you haven't been to one, go to one. If you have a nonprofit business or you want to see who's helping your community out there or how you can be a part of helping somebody else, definitely go. Today I bring my partner in crime, Ms. Abby Salinas. She does a lot of our graphics and she's also a coordinator at Royal Public Schools. We both tag team this monstrosity of trying to get kids to enroll. We are a brand new school. We're a charter school. We just opened up this past year. Right now we're doing our summer school, and next year we are opening up kinder through 5th grade. This past year we're only kinder through 2nd. The intent for our school is we're going to break ground on building a middle school and a high school on the same ground. If you're not familiar with Fair and Presa, we have a huge back lot, and that's where we're going to put our middle school and high school.
Okay.
So babies can go from kindergarten to graduation all in one location. And where that will help the students too is for parents that'll help the parents. Sometimes parents have a 10th grader, 6th grader, and maybe a kindergartner, all in one school. And it's free tuition to everybody. Dr. Tarim, our founder, whom you were speaking about earlier, his genuine belief is education for children. A lot of people are quick to say, oh, well, charter schools, I don't like charter schools because you're taking money away from the public schools. But he brings up a great point. He's a firm believer that the money, it belongs to the child. It doesn't belong to any particular school. Wherever that child goes, that's where the money goes. And that money should go to wherever the education is best for the child.
Exactly. And like Dr. Tarim, like I said, everything that I saw, outstanding. I couldn't see anything that I say, oh, there's something wrong, because everything that I was looking at was really, like I said, on point, and everything. The kids were there. It is very conducive to learning when you have a really good environment, right? That adds a lot to the whole thing about them being able to learn because it's so easy to learn. Now, who do you have with you here today?
My name is Abby Salinas. I'm born and raised on the south side of San Antonio.
All right, south side.
So I actually have a daughter that goes to Royal Public Schools. She is a 2nd grader. She has struggled in the past at her previous school. However, this school she has thrived. She has blossomed like the sunflower that she is. So as a parent, I would just suggest to take a tour of the school. The principal, Miss Rebecca Hines, and Dr. Tarim, they took me on a tour as an employee, and they actually sold me as a parent. So
you were there first as an employee.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask. Yes. Were you a mom at first, and you were taking your kid, and that kind of sold you, but you were getting hired there?
Yes, I was getting hired there, and they sold me as a parent.
Okay.
I love their mission and their vision. Miss Rebecca Hines always says that you have to touch a child's heart before you touch a child's mind. A lot of our students, they're trying to figure out if they're going to have a meal. if they're going to have a roof over their head, if they're going to be able to go home and feel safe. So that's what we're struggling with a lot on that side of town. I'm from the south side, and to me it's completely different. The way the students are, the way they look, the way they come to school. They need us. They need a good education. The parents need us. They need all the resources they can get, and we're there to help them.
And that's so true. I know the South Side. I mean, I grew up in the South Side too. I don't know exactly where you did, but I was out there as a product of a public school, South San. And of course, seems like everything south of downtown lacks a lot because the north side schools have everything, which is great, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's what it is, but the children definitely do. If they don't get what they need, they're somewhat substandard in learning or what they can do because they don't have the resources, or they don't have everything that north side schools have. It's understandable, of course. And talking about that you were talking about the parents or the needs or the lack of funding or money that they have for their family. We helped out a school last year with Thanksgiving, and one of the things that caught me was that when they sent the email, she said that 95% of the families there live under the poverty level. And I thought it was a typo, and I'm saying, we're in San Antonio, how could that be possible, 95%? And so she said, yeah, that's the reality of what we're dealing with, and I thought maybe it would have been like 45 or 35%. Maybe I would have believed that. But when she said 95%, that really just hit me. And so we were able to help them with what they were asking for, of course, but the need is there. And it's a lot of places that, because the need is there, a lot of times the kids suffer because they don't have what they should have in their, at school.
Yeah, and the kids don't know better, and it's not their fault.
Right.
And at the end of the day, they just feel the parents are trying as hard as they can. They're giving that love. They're trying to give that shelter, and sometimes they may not be at home because they're working. And that's where we come in as a school, and it should be that way. As a community, as human beings, we should be out there trying to help one another, because no one's in this alone in this world. We're all out there trying to help one another. And at Royal, we offer the tuition's free. A lot of people seem to think that charter schools, we charge. We don't. Yes, we do wear a uniform. The first uniform's free. After that, it's $10. If they can't afford it, that's fine. They can come in their own t-shirt. Free tuition, free first t-shirt, free backpack, free school supplies, free meals, free snacks, free after-school care till 5:30. And we'll accept any student regardless of where they live. You can live on the north. We have some kids that come from the Marbach and 410 area. Wow. And it's great, just so that way, yes, they might drive a little bit more, but the money they spend on gas, they saved on daycare. And
the quality, again, sometimes you do have to sacrifice, and we were talking about that earlier, right? Sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things to move up, to a better life or whatever you have to do. But it's for that little moment, and then you realize that what you did, when you look back, it's like, it was worth it. It was worth it, especially with, if it has to deal with kids and trying to get them the best education that you can. And I'll be honest, I've liked you on Facebook, right? And I've seen some of the things that y'all are doing. I have to really plug this because this is the first time that I've ever seen that happen. But I was really impressed that you all brought in 2 opera singers to sing to the kids. And they were there in the auditorium, right? And they were just there sitting, and they were just, I think, in awe of, being exposed to something that they would have probably never been exposed to. That says a lot about the school. And I'm not just, again, saying that to plug, Royal Academy, but I think that's so awesome because a diversification of a lot of different experiences that you are being able to give the kids, it's just broadening their horizons as they grow up.
Yes, and that's something that we offer the students as well. Since we weren't able to go on field trips this year, we brought the field trips to them. So we didn't also have opera singers. We had artists that would go. We do offer art, music, and dance within the curriculum. So within the school day, they will have those extracurricular activities as well as robotics. So they are exposed to a lot. We want to bring out the students' natural curiosity. So we want to bring out what they would want to do. If their passion is for art, then let's strive for art. And then the same thing for music or robotics or STEM. Whatever the case may be, we want to bring that out within the child so they can feel like they're thriving.
Right. Yeah, and you can see that because, and again, when you mentioned that, right, I was going around looking at the classrooms. Right before I was getting ready to leave, the very last classroom before I was walking out, there was a gentleman that was in there. And what caught my eye was there was a lot of little tables around the room, and I saw a lot of little like bins in there. And I was kind of curious, what are they doing? When I popped my head in there, caught my eye then was that I saw like one of these 3D printers there. And I'm like, okay, 3D printer, these are small little kids. And I see a lot of like teacher that was there reached out to me and was talking to me. And he started telling me what he was doing, and he says, no, we're already at this age, we're already bringing them in here. He says, all we need them to do right now is like to get one of these little gear wheels and put it into like a little rod or something, and that's this process. And so each table that he says that he was taking me to, it starts here, but it moves here and it moves here and it moves here until the end. We start to get them like to produce like a little robotic something they can either, I don't know if they were coding yet or not, but they were able to make something. And so, I mean, already at that age, I'm thinking, man, that would have blown me away when I was that age to be able to do something like that. I mean, we didn't have anything, right? We got like toilet paper tubes or something like, here, be creative, right? But no, that really blew me away because he says, we start him now. And he told me, he says, we're trying to teach him now to, and he said that he wants to teach some of the older kids. He said, we can certify them so they can teach the younger kids as well. So everything that he was telling me was like, man, I was just amazed. And that's part of your curriculum as far as what you offer there as well.
Yes. So for our robotics class, they do start doing coding in kindergarten. So they will do coding in kindergarten, whether it's with Legos or if it's with actual pieces of a robot. For our New Year's, we actually shot up the rocket. So we shot up bottle rockets up in the air for New Year. And then
something you created?
Yes. So that's just something that all of our kids like. Seeing something that they created and then shoot up in the air, and seeing their faces, like that's the best feeling in the world.
Right. Especially
as like the teacher, I can imagine like how happy he was that they can actually do that they created that, and he taught them that. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, no, and again, it just blew me away because I'm like, at this age already. I mean, a lot of times we think that kids won't start learning till they get older, but I mean, why should you wait if they can pick it up now? I mean, can you imagine how advanced they'll be, second, third, fourth grade already?
And going back to what you said about the opera singers, which is also something Abby's talking about, it's really just about exposure. It doesn't matter where you grow up. Do you grow up with two parents, one parent, west side, east side, south side? Everybody should be exposed to everything. I think that's what we're trying to do with our children. You're on the same level as everybody else. Right. Don't ever feel less because of where you grew up or how you grew up. Everybody is given the same opportunity, and that's what we're trying to teach our children. Like, they can be that astronaut or whoever they want to be, just the same as any other kid. Am I saying they're going to become opera singers? No, but they were exposed to it. And that's already one step ahead of that, maybe where we were as little kids.
And you never know, because I hear a lot of stories sometimes from, some of these people that have made it. They said, I heard somebody when I was like 3-4 years old, and they just never left me. And you never know. I mean, one of the kids there is like, oh my God, what is this? And that stays with them, and you never know that he may be the next Pavarotti or, these opera singers that are been famous. I mean, it usually starts somewhere.
Right.
But if you can get them, like I said, at that age, can you imagine how well or how more developed they are as they grow older versus, hey, I'm 18 and I want to start doing this now. So that's a great thing. And believe me, all these things that I see, it's just very encouraging. And knowing that these kids that are being developed now are going to be so much better than what we were at their age.
And that's the point, right? That's exactly what we should be striving for as educators or as adults. The next generation 100% should be better than what we were or what we are, because that in reality is success, creating that next generation.
Right. And that's where we're at right now, right? Because I know growing up we didn't have any of that. It's understandable, but I think having those essential things that we need to learn, and like you said, I think every child is equal. Of course, sometimes depending on where you're at, you may not have those resources or services, but like I said, I like the fact that y'all are bringing that to them and exposing them. It's just the beginning part of, what they're able to understand and know that these things are available. I mean, because a lot of times kids don't even know that some of these things are out there until they get, into their 20s or 30s. So it's a great thing that what Royal is doing, exposing them at a very, very early age, is beneficial to them. Not only them, I think, overall the community and their parents as well, and their other siblings that are coming after them. And so it's a great thing that Royal is being able to do that as well. You mentioned also that they're going to be doing And I know Dr. Tarim had mentioned that, but I thought he was going to do it somewhere further down on Military Drive when I talked to him the last time. But I know the piece of land that you're talking about, he showed it to me right in the back of the school there. So is that where the other school is going to be going then?
The middle school and the high school, yes.
Okay.
There is plans because we have a vision that Royal is going to be successful and this school will expand. So there will be more schools than just our location in San Antonio. But right now, yes, middle school and high school will be built on our same land, on Presa and Fair.
And do you have a time frame for that? Is it like next year or a couple of years from now? Or
the time to break ground was going to be this summer, I believe.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the plan, hopefully, God willing, was that it would be done in 1 year. Unfortunately, now with the delays of COVID and shipping and cargo, I don't think it's going to be done in 1 year. But either way, our fifth graders, we do have room in our current school for them to become sixth graders in the same school. Worst case scenario, if it takes 2 years, we still have the room in the current building that we're at. Because one of the benefits about Royal, another benefit I should say, is that we're a small school in the sense of our classrooms stay small. So the students get that attention from the teachers. So we're very lucky that we have teachers that genuinely, deeply care about our students. And it's amazing to work there. Every single teacher knows every single kid in every single grade. Sometimes you just have teachers that just know the kids in their grade or just the kids in their classroom.
Right.
Every single teacher, the sanitation team, the cooks in our cafeteria, everybody knows every single kid. There's that genuinely connection.
Right.
So we know who picks them up, who should be here, who shouldn't be here. We take all of that very seriously. It's love. It's genuine love for the students and for their education and life journey that they're going to go through. And I think that's important too in an education system, is having the right people there that are there for the right reasons.
No, exactly. And I truly believe, especially teachers, I know because my niece is a kindergarten teacher, and she's asked me to help her a couple of times with little things that they're doing, projects and stuff. Like one of them was like, I think during the Christmas, DJing to play, they had a party, Christmas and all that. And I'm looking at these little kids, right, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And I told her, I said, I don't know how you do it. You got to be with them all day. I could probably deal with them for 1 hour or two, but I'm like, you have to be with them every single day, 5 days out of the week. I'm like, if you don't have a heart for that, then you're in the wrong place, because you have to deal with kids like that, or in general, students, of course, because these are young minds. You guys are the ones that are molding them or instilling in them already so many different things. The parents, of course, but you have them pretty much all week long, 7 hours, whatever they may be. So you all give them a lot to start off with. And again, kids will learn what they are taught, right? Teach them the right way, they get taught the right way. They don't, if it's the wrong way, then that's what they know and understand. But it is a challenge, and I commend you all, because it takes a lot. Like I said, you have to have a heart for that. And I see that a lot of the teachers are just, that you can just see their focus. When I was there, I could see that. I'm trying to remember, they had something that they were doing. I think it was the graduation, right, recently. And you see them all in their little, outfits and everything, and their gown and cats. And I'm like, man, you never know these kids where they're going to end up, right? This could be the next president of the United States. You never know.
You're right.
And so it takes like that village, right, to raise the kid. And that's what I see about what Royal is doing. So definitely some school, like I said, they're not paying me to say this. I would recommend that you look at this or check this out, especially if you're looking for another school right now. I know during the summer people move. You may be thinking, man, where do I take my kids now, or whatever the case may be. So I always want to give contact information out in case maybe somebody's listening right now wants more information. Where can they reach you, or where can they contact, social media, website, phone number?
So our social media, we are on Facebook as Royal Public Schools, Instagram as royal.public.schools. We are on TikTok as royal.public.schools. We do post on there. If it's not daily, it's weekly. You can reach us at 210-531-0300. You can ask for Miss Nava or Miss Salinas. We'll be happy to take your phone call. Miss Mallard, which is our receptionist, she'll be happy to assist you if you do have any questions and we are not there. And then we do have our cell phones available, so she can transfer you to our direct cell phones if we are not on campus. Okay. And we do also give tours. You can just come in from 8 to 4, or you can schedule an appointment.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask, because I know during the summer, schools aren't running like the way they usually run during school year. But if some parent, like, because I know they may be right now, the kids are at home, or if they want to maybe go and look at the school, you're able to go during the summer to go and maybe take a tour.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend it. I mean, don't take my word for it, but go and look for yourself. Again, the school is awesome. I think last year was the 100-year anniversary for that school. I think it was built like 100 years ago.
Yes.
And so again, like I said, you can't tell that it's an old school. That's what I love about it, that it's the old style school. They have high ceilings, and it's not like your brand new schools now, which I know they are what they are, of course, but these are really like something from the past. But you can't tell that because they're so well done. I mean, like I said, I don't know if they renovated or not, but it really looks really awesome. But you have to go. One of the rooms that really I loved was, I think it's like you have black lights in there.
Yes, so that is what we call our galaxy room.
Okay.
All the art in that room has been created by kinder through second grade.
Yeah, it's awesome because it's all fluorescent, right? I think they're painted with fluorescent paint or something. You put them in there in the black light, and it's just really awesome that time I saw it. So it's very creative, something like that. They get to see what they've done in a room like that.
And we just got a second room. It's an under the sea theme. So same concept where it's like black lights, but like an octopus is hanging from the ceiling. There's fish everywhere. Very nice.
That is so cool. Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to go down there and look. Like I said, you don't take my word for it, but go down there and look at what Royal Academy is doing. And again, they're getting ready to break ground soon and doing the higher education up to high school, and that's great. I know Dr. Tarim, like I said, he's an awesome individual, very humble, and really wants to help the community. I know he said, hey, we're partners with him, and he said, whenever you want, you can come here and do an event. And so we're definitely gearing up to wanting to do that, do like a resource fair, not only for the parents there, of course, but also the community to come together and be able to see, hey, these are things that are out there that can benefit you. And not only the families, of course, but everybody that's around the community there that can be able to tap into some of these different resources that Bridging the Gap has available as well. We're almost out of time. Anything else that you want to share with our listeners before we end?
No, sir. Thank you very much for having us, and we look forward, hopefully, to come again.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. And again, I know the air conditioning's not working right now, but we're still here. I'm glad we were able to do this. But again, go and visit Royal Academy. It's a really awesome school, especially for the kids. Thank you again for joining us. If you need more information, give us a call or visit our Facebook. We'll be back here next week. God bless.